Hey guys, how are you? How are you? First of all, welcome to Nonprofit Nuggets with Jennifer Yarbrough. I am Jennifer Yarbrough, and I am a nonprofit expert, over 30 years of experience. And my goal, my job, is to help organizations really understand the process of starting and growing a nonprofit organization. I can tell you that speaking to leaders, some of the things that they are always asking me is, Jen, how do I find board members? Jen, how do I find donors? Jen, how do I find funding? How do I get startup support? How do I get salaries paid? How do I purchase a home? How do I get grant funding, right? So all of these things that they are seeking during the time of the startup are very much the same. What makes it the same is that they need support, right? So they need stakeholders, they need investors, they need people who are committed, who are interested, who are evangelists, and who are in the vein of passion connection with what they're doing, right? So the question then is, where do you find those stakeholders? Who are those stakeholders? Those stakeholders are the grant funders, the businesses, the individuals, those who have resources that are interested in supporting your work. The first thing that we've got to think about is when you are starting your nonprofit, you are making sure that you are able to clearly describe the specific problem that you have found in your community, right? Or that you are specifically able to discuss the area of interest that you have taken on, be it mentoring, be it elderly, be it homeless, be it veterans, right? So you are wanting to specifically articulate, why have you chosen this population? What about this population brings them to have a need, and specifically how your organization is going to change where they are. All right. So it's important that when you are starting your nonprofit, that you are realizing that your stakeholders, your funders, your donors, those that would give you a building, those that would invest in your work through donations and contributions and grants, they are interested in supporting a solution, not activity. Solution, not activity. So you understand then what? The problem. You understand the specific area of need that your organization is going to address. I can tell you that many people start their nonprofit understanding what they want to do, but now we need to put around the language of why is what you're doing or seeking funding for doing, what problem is that going to solve? Right? What need is going to be met? Not just for the lives of the people that are in your program, but you are able to speak to it about the people who are never going to be in your program. Your donors, your funders, your collaborators, those are not people who are in your program, but those are the, Jen, I need to find donors. Jen, I need to find grant funders. Jen, I need to find people who will give me a building or a bus or whatever that is, okay? But you are leading them to see the value in supporting what you do. Let's exhale for a moment. All right, let's exhale for a moment, because this is an area of business that many people don't think about. Okay. There's a lot of classes, there's a lot of information out there about once you started, and then they kind of dive into the middle of donor funding and grant writing and board development. But before you get there, you've got to be able to understand, what is the need? How are we the problem? And then my stakeholders, right? My stakeholders are my funders, my board members. These are the people that are going to help us achieve or solve that problem. They're going to help either directly, they're going to help through their resource, they're going to help through their connection, they're going to help through their knowledge and sharing that knowledge with us, right? So that you're able to get the resources, the information, access to the capacity that you need. So there has to be then a thought of, who are your stakeholders? Who are your potential stakeholders? And what would make them a stakeholder? These are people who either work in an industry that could complement what you do, or these are people that see the value in what you do. So they either have an experience in it directly, they know something about it, or they know someone who knows someone, or they themselves have gone through it and don't want anyone else to go through it, right? So there's lots of ways to identify your stakeholders. What I want to encourage you to do is really sit back and talk and think through. This is my specific problem that I'm trying to solve. And the truth is this. Can I tell you the truth? Do you mind if I tell you the truth? The truth is you cannot solve the entire problem by yourself. I cannot tell you how many people that I speak to who say, Jen, I want to do everything. I've got so many ideas. I've got so many areas that I want to help. I want to help with the food. I want to help with their clothes. I want to help with them money. I want to help with them having free housing. I want to help with them having transportation. I want to help with giving them clothes. I want to help with everything that they need. You want to give, and that's not realistic. Sorry, not sorry, but you cannot. No one has the ability, the resource to help people on that level, nor should you, right? But what you can say is that if we prioritize on those areas that is going to help solve the problem the quickest, not the activities. More activities does not mean that I am actually impacting more or I am having a more impactful program just because the more I do. No, it is the work that is specifically designed to solve the specific problem, to meet the specific need. That's how you define that you are solving a problem. All right. You may be helping, you may be doing something that is good, but if it's not moving them towards solution quickly, that's important. Why does it need to be done quickly? Because you have a strategy. You know what the problem is, right? You understand the steps that it's going to take to solve their problem. So you now are saying, these are the things that are essential. These are the things that we can prioritize. And these are the things that we can attach a goal to in order for them to succeed in our program. Now you find out your stakeholders. Who are the people who have the resource or connection or who have a direct service or who can partner with us? Because the more people that you get involved within your community, the more stakeholders that you have, what does that do? That gives you more visibility, that gives you more credibility, that gives you more reach. It gives you a better opportunity for more impact, more people who know about what you do, more people who believe in what you do, more people who support the work that you do, right? Then they are becoming your evangelists. They can testify and speak about the work that you do. They can share their resources with you in order because you are mutually trying to solve the same problem. All right. So I want you to look at yourself. And say, listen, do I understand stakeholders? That's where you got to begin. Okay. Because you want your donors to be a stakeholder. You want your funders to be a stakeholder. You want the person that you want the building from to be a stakeholder. You want your board members to be a stakeholder. All right. But you've got to be able to give that stakeholder back something. There has to be an exchange in a relationship. Okay. So you want your stakeholders to have a relationship with you, but then you've got to give them something back as well. What is it that you give back to them? Impact. You let them know that with their support, with their help, that you then are able to meet this goal of people, serve them in this way, and that once they leave your program, this is what they are able to go on to do. They are becoming a stakeholder because they believe in the outcome. They believe in the problem that you are solving. They believe that you have the capacity, that you have the knowledge, that you have the ability, that you have the leadership to make that happen. They're not just supporting in your activity. They're supporting in the impact, the result, the solution, that which will be changed as a result of your program activities. Your activities are selected intentionally and deliberately because these are the activities that are going to bring about the change, the specific problem you are addressing, and the specific change that you can describe. So your stakeholders now are interested in the outcome, not the activity, right? They are supporting you because they want to see what you're going to accomplish continue. So put yourself in the seat of a stakeholder, right? Put yourself in the seat of a stakeholder, okay? Let's use an analogy of you are a parent, okay? I'm not a parent, I'm a godparent, but a parent who says, I have an investment in my child. All right. So I've grown them, I've given them tools, I've given them resources so that the outcome of that investment is that they will be responsible, that they will be kind and caring, that they will be able to support themselves, that they will be independent thinkers, that they will be leaders, that they will be able to make a difference and share that knowledge with someone else. That's the outcome. Right? That's the outcome. And you, as a stakeholder in that life, you are pouring in, but you ultimately know that there is an end result. There is a result of what I'm doing. There is a result of what I'm doing. Building character, honest in their communications, open in their emotions, right? There is an outcome to that. You now have got to be able to express to your donors, to your funders, the outcome, right? These are your stakeholders. Now, listen, guys, this is not time consuming, but it's necessary. It's necessary. It's necessary. You've got to put yourself in the seat of a stakeholder. And you've got to build relationships, not around a check, but around how can I build relationships with real stakeholders, people who are invested, people who are committed. What would make them invest? What would make them want to be committed? Your impact. 98% of your donors give because of impact. 98% of your donors give because of impact, not activity. And so you've got to be able to tell the difference between activity and impact. Impact is always result. Impact is always the change, not the thing that you are doing, but the result of what you're doing. All right. And that is what makes them say, yes, I want to see that happen. And so I'm going to invest, I'm going to support, I'm going to sponsor, I'm going to endorse the activities because I too want the same result as you. Okay. So think about the end, think about your stakeholders, and think about how you want them to be involved. All right. A stakeholder is affected. They are affected and have an interest in your project. They are affected how? A stakeholder is affected by the investment because you are doing what they too think is important, what they too believe is important, right? So they're giving you of their investment, they're giving to you of their capacity, they're giving to you of their money, they're giving to you of their building, they're giving to you of their grant. Why? Because they are affected by what you do. They believe in it. They think it's important. They think it's valuable. How do they know that? You've got to have that conversation. You've got to be able to speak about it. You've got to be able to describe it. You've got to be able to explain it. You've got to make it plain so that they understand that investing in you, being a stakeholder in what you're doing, being a part of a change that is going to impact not just short term, but long term. And that you've got a plan of how you're going to continue with this investment that they're taking in you, then they want to see it accomplished, okay? Your organization is created and you are a stakeholder in your community and you want those in your community to be stakeholders of you. It's a relationship, all right? So think about your organization from a stakeholder's perspective. Are you a stakeholder in the community? Are you a leader that sees the value of your impact beyond the people that you serve? Are you able to speak to and describe the specific problem found in your community or area of interest that your organization is going to address by your program? All right. This is going to be the key to getting more stakeholders, being able to clearly talk about, define, explain, and express how their support is going to benefit them. You know, what's in it for them, What's in it for the person to give you the grant? What's in it for them to be a donor? What's in it for them to come alongside your organization and to endorse? What's in it for them to be a board member? What's in it for them to give up their time and their resources? Because you are solving a problem. Remember that our work as nonprofits, we do what businesses cannot do. We do what government cannot do. And so the work that you're doing is important. We just got to be able to express that. The work that you're doing is important and that it's long lasting. The work that you do is important, and it's important not just to the people that you serve, but to your stakeholders, your donors, your funders, all right? Don't think of them as, I need a donor. I need someone who's invested in the impact, right? You are a business and you have a very valuable product. What's your product? Your impact. And your stakeholders, your donors, your funders, those are people who believe in ensuring that their investment, right, what they have put at stake is going to make a difference, and that you continue to be able to make that difference through the work of your nonprofit. All right. I don't want you to feel afraid. I don't want you to feel as if you can't do this, because the truth is this: it's important that you succeed. It's important that you, as a stakeholder in your community who is caring, who is compassionate, who is taking on a cause, meeting a need that's not currently being met, that you be able to speak about what's at stake. You're able to talk about the solution that you're bringing about, and that you, as an organization, are essential as a stakeholder in your community. All right. I hope that this is helpful. If you have any questions at all, feel free to go to my calendar, schedule a time. I offer a 20-minute consultation. Go to my calendar, JD as in David, Yarbrough.com, JD as in David, Yarbrough.com. You can read about me. You can get access to my calendar as well. And let's talk. Let's talk about how we can take your organization to the next level. There are 3 reasons that organizations struggle. Money is not one of them. All right. Money is not one of them. Money is a fruit and not the root. Money is a fruit and not the root. And you being able to understand this concept of stakeholders, what it is that they want, what is it that they need, and how you are a stakeholder, and what it is that you give back to them so that they want to continue to support your work in an ongoing fashion, is going to be essential to your organization's sustainability. All right. So listen, guys, I've been doing this work now for over 35 years. I am a nonprofit expert. I am a grant writer. I'm a professional fundraiser. I'm an executive coach. I do all things A to Z as it relates to nonprofits. And I want you to know that you have the ability, you have the capability. We just need to make sure that you have the understanding and the clarity so that you can build the right team, have the results, and that you are able to even serve more impactfully in the community that you love and that you are committed to. And I want you to be encouraged that you've got stakeholders in your community that would be and are just as passionate about the problem that you're solving as you. Just need to connect with them. How do we connect with them? Again, articulating impact and sharing the strategy and the plan of how you're going to achieve that impact. All right, guys, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer your questions for you. I have a community on Facebook called Nonprofit Leaders Impacting Lives, Nonprofit Leaders Impacting Lives, where I have hundreds of videos. But I would really love to help you take this information, take where you are, and move you where you want to be quickly. Why is that important? Because there are at least 1,000 people who are praying for a solution to the problem that they have, and your organization is a solution to their problem. All right. And that problem not only serves them, but it serves your community. And that's what our organizations are here for. Our organizations are to meet the needs of our community. So let's take your idea and let's put a plan around it and a strategy around it. And let's move quickly, right? Let's move quickly. This is the right time. You're in the right time to be of impact in your community. Okay, guys, be encouraged. Again, visit my website, jd as in David, yarbrough.com, jd as in David, yarbrough.com. Visit my Facebook group, Nonprofit Leaders Impacting Lives. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter as well, LinkedIn. So reach out. I'm here to help. I'm here to share, and I'm here to help you grow your organizations. And I hope that one of these nonprofit nuggets really landed for you. And I would love to hear how this information has helped you go to the next level. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Nonprofit Nuggets with Jen in the upcoming days and weeks. All right, guys, take care.